This week's commoner video is long overdue. Today I'm breaking down the Dromai Ashwing Swarm commoner deck build. So join me as we talk cenapais, phantasms, and a million paper cuts, well, 20, with an Ashwing Swarm. A huge shout out to our channel members for supporting what we do here. If you want to get involved with the channel and the Dice Commando community, please consider joining as a channel member. Remember, these videos are only possible with your support. You can show that support with a like, a subscribe, and by leaving us a comment and sharing your feedback. Community first, and go Commando. Hey there, Flesh and Blood folks. Welcome back to Dice Commando and Go Again. A fabulous cast. Thanks for checking in once again for today's commoner video talking Dromai. Now, I mentioned in the intro this was long overdue. So I've been telling my buddy Steve this is coming for a while, but stuff keeps popping up. But here it is, buddy. Here it is, buddy. So thank you all I have quite a loyal small but loyal following of commoner people. So thank you guys. Keep those comments going. Hey, don't keep the videos going because overall the commoner videos do not do very well. So I do need your support. All right, so Dromai, yes, works very different than Prism, as I mentioned, and she also works very, very, very different in commoner than she would normally because that's right, she has no big dragons. They're all rares or higher. So she's working off, if she wants to go dragon, she's working off her Ashwing Swarm, and she can't do it alone. She's got to bring some of those big desert cenapais along with her, right? So she has no big dragons, which means she depends entirely on phantasm attacks to give time to set up the Ashwing Swarm. Rake the Embers is a huge, not huge, it is a massive tool in commoner, right? You can drop that, swing, 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 especially red rake. Oh my goodness, how good that is. Another thing you're going to want to do is, like I mentioned, buy yourself time to get enough ash out. If you're playing this and you are constantly consuming the ash that you're making, you're probably not going to be able to pull off what you want to do into the end game. So you do have to do a little bit of strategy in terms of pitch stacking. Now we also have a couple tricks in terms of the armor package to make sure that we are creating ash off turn, right? What we're going to do is we're going to be using the armor that when it defends, you pay 1, it defends for 2, that lets you pitch reds on your opponent's turn. Remember, every time you do that, you create an ash. Make sure you're not missing those triggers. You're going to need them. Rabble and Scar and the Phantasm Go Agains, right? The 1/5, Spears of Reality and such. They're going to be great for our Chane starters. And don't forget, again, when some of our cenapais get blown up, they will actually create an ash token for us, right? And then we can use the big cards like Rake the Embers, Sweeping Blow, all that good stuff to make our dragons and start doing what we're going to want to do, right? Favorable matchups for Dromai include Warriors, Kano, Rangers, as well as probably, maybe depends on Rhinar. The problem with Rhinar is, right, it's a negative matchup because he's a big attack hero. He might not be as bad as some of the Guardians, but the ninjas who go wide and they can just destroy your Ashwings, as well as the big attack heroes who have a lot of poppers, those are going to be your problems. All right, so let's go ahead and bring up the deck list. Now, I do want to give a shout out to Phil. Phil is a judge in the local area, also a player in the local area. This is largely built off of his shell that I saw at Commoner Crawl number 2, way back almost in the summertime. He had sent a list to me, and I've edited it and kind of done what I think needs to be done with it, at least how I like to play. But again, thank you, Phil, for helping me get the starting point for this. So again, and to the commoner people, right, we have a very small group of very loyal commoner people. I love you guys. This is the list, right? I don't keep all of the lists in my FabDB to link. It just gets too unwieldy. So this is the list I have available. Also, as we go through any card we talk about for longer than a few seconds, I will splash on the screen, but I'm not going to flash each card up on the screen. I just can't do it. All right. If you don't like it, sorry, I'm doing what I can here. So thank you. I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate your understanding. All right, so let's go into the reds. Yes, there are a lot of reds because, hey, we need a lot of reds. We need the big attacks. We also need the ability to create ash, and that's the way it is. We only have 2 blues in the deck, and we only have 6 yellows, so you can do the rest of the math. All right, so 2 Billowing Mirage. This card is a very good one. Now, I will actually go ahead and link the video because why not? Actually did a thing about creating and transforming ash. Billowing Mirage is like the poster child for that card in terms of pitching, creating, and transforming, right? So make sure you understand that. You can do it. It's really good. Billowing Mirage is a really good card. Blaze Headlong is also a very good card. Now, keep in mind here that you do have to have a red out to be able to use it. And the dream is like Scar into Blaze, right, to start your Ashwing chain. Oh, ooh. All right, Dune Breaker Cenapai, one of your big boys. It's pretty self-explanatory there. Getting to be able to pay for it can sometimes be a challenge, but that is a big boy. And in the right matchup, that's a real big boy if they don't have poppers. We have Dust Up ×2. We have Embermaw Cenapai. We have, or I might have actually just switched Dune Breaker and Enema. And Embermaw, I always do that. All right, the other one's a 1/5, right? 1/5 with goes, and when it pops, you get the ash. Very, very, very good. We'll also be playing, you'll see below, Spears of Surreality. It's also another 1/5 with goes with Phantasm. Start your chain and does the whole thing, right? Very, very good cards, especially in the matchups where they don't have readily available poppers. Although, let's be honest, most people are starting to run at least 4 poppers because it's just so, so good to do that in Commoner. We have Fate Foreseen Red. We have Nimbleism. Nimbleism was one of Phil's tricks that he used to really start the chain. Nimbleism into Blaze Headlong. Blaze Headlong, that's very hot, right? Because Blaze Headlong, all it needs is the red before it, so you can Nimbleism into Blaze. So what he had done, his little trick that he taught me, was keep Nimbleism in your arsenal so that when you need it for something like that, you have it. There's not a lot of arsenal blow up in Commoner, so it works really, really, really well. It's a nice little trick. So again, thank you, Phil, for that. All right, Oasis Respite, that's pretty much an auto-include in Commoner. You need it for basically, especially here, because again, it's something you can pitch to create Ash. It's an effective 4 block. It's good in every matchup and creating Ash. Great in this. It's good in every Commoner deck, but it's great in this one. Right, Rake the Embers, right? We're running this in every color because this is such an effective tool for you to be able to just drop, swing, because it's a red itself. Drop, swing, swing, swing. Awesome. Awesome card. I don't really know what much more I need to say to that. In your Guardian matchups and stuff like that, you're going to want to try and get these on the bottom, pitch stack them, so that you can end the game and come in with a boatload of these, right? If you could rake into rake and then come, right? If you can catch them off guard, great way to end a game. Right, Ravenous Rabble also speaks for itself. We have Sand Cover. This is a great defensive tool. Scar for a Scar makes sense. Sink Below, self-explanatory. Skittering Sands, also very, very good in here. We already talked about Spears of Surreality. It really just fits right in with what we're trying to do with the 1/5 Cenapai. Then we have Sweeping Blow, which not only is a good card, but is a gorgeous, gorgeous foil card. If you got one of those, run it. You won't regret it. All right, so one of my adds to the list is Raging Onslaught. I play this in a ton of my Commoner decks because remember, your Cenapais are Phantasms. They cannot act as poppers. You do need poppers. So we don't have a ton of room, flexibility in here, but Raging Onslaught is a yellow that defends for 3. Very, very good card. That's why I put it in here as well, just for a little popper defense to stop one of those long chains if you need to, so you can strike back with your own. Right, Rake the Embers yellow, we talked about that, and then Skittering Sands yellow. And then for the blue, to round it out, Rake the Embers. Right, weapons, self-explanatory, running the Storm. For equipment, running the Cross Strap. That'll help with one of your Cenapais. Then we're running Ironhide Helm, Legs, and Plate. We're running the Nullrune Boots Hood, we're running the Sash of Sandakai, and then Silken Form. All right, so that rounds it out. So Ironhide Helm, right, so there's your helmet, Ironhide Legs, Plate, right, and then you have the Silken Form for the gloves, right? So you're going to run the helm, you're going to run the cross strap in matches where you want to go a little more aggressive, and they're going to likely have less poppers. If they are going to likely have poppers on you, you want to go ahead and just, especially because a lot of times they're going to be dominating you, right? Those like the Guardian matches, something like that. You want to be able to tank up a little bit. You can throw, that's a 6 defense fridge for 3 pitches, which yes, a lot of time is 3 cards out of your hand, I get it. But you also create 3 ash. So that rounds it out in terms of the deck. Again, it's, is Dromai top tier? By no means, she's not, but she can do some pretty crazy things on the table. And against certain matches, certain matches just don't even have enough. Like if you can create enough Ashwings and they have to spend their whole time popping Ashwings, it just becomes a fatigue game at that point. And generally you're going to win that fatigue game because then you come on a big one. And all of a sudden they have to defend, and then maybe they pop an Ashwing, and then you come with a couple more, right? Create and come with a couple more. So lots of great options available here. A lot of fun with the deck. So let me know what you guys are thinking. Let me know if you guys are having fun with it. Thanks for checking in. If nothing else, go Commando.